When I finished treatment, I immediately realized something. I was no longer the same person. And honestly, I didn't want to be that person anymore. I thought I was living before the diagnosis, but truthfully, I didn't really start living until after. However, I still had to discover who I was. Who is this new person? Basically, that's when I began the process of a mindset reset. And so, if you're looking for the key thing that I did to reset my mind after a cancer diagnosis, then this video is for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Zacobia and I wear many hats, many titles, but what probably brought you to my channel is the fact that I am a breast cancer survivor and I like to talk about a lot of things that most people don't talk about. And so for today, let's get into mindset reset. First, let's recognize the fact that cancer changes everything. Your identity, your body, your future plans. I went from being in total bliss in motherhood, welcoming the new addition to our family, my baby girl, to being a patient, being bald, being committed to doctor's appointments, consults, treatments, essentially being robbed of time. I'll tell you, trust me when I say that is not an easy shift. And after treatment, I feel like a lot of people, not intentionally, but they wanted you to go back to normal. They wanted me to go back to normal. They wanted everything to go back to normal. And nothing about anything that I had gone through was normal. So I couldn't, that didn't exist anymore. I couldn't pretend. I had to grieve the old version of me and essentially accept and welcome the new version of the person that I was becoming. One big lesson that I learned that I would like to pass on to someone else is to be cautious of toxic positivity, if that makes sense. Of course, you want to welcome positivity, but not to the point where it's not acknowledging what you've been through, what you've experienced, the trauma. Like I said, a cancer diagnosis is traumatic. And so the positivity is good, but not to the point that it diminishes what you're truly feeling and what you're experiencing. So how that relates to everyone else. And so you can be, extremely positive and, you don't want to speak any ill words because of, you got to be careful with what we say and all of that. And so you got to be careful with how you say it, but it's okay to be real and be true to yourself. You don't have to slap on a smile every time or slap a smile on everything. True healing comes when we are honest and truthful with ourselves and we are compassionate with ourselves and our true feelings. Okay, so this is the big moment here. If you're still watching the video, this is what you're waiting for. Okay, so the key takeaway for me, or what was most helpful for me to be able to reset my mindset, was to be intentional about my future. I would essentially visualize myself thriving, not just surviving. I made it a point to plan out and see my future all the way through my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I imagine all of the things that I wanted, all of the things that I desired. I had to see it. And I truly believe I needed to see that to be able to continue to move forward and not get stuck in time. And so essentially that gave me hope because it's so easy to get stuck. And I've experienced this before with just grief and loss. It's so easy to get stuck. And so it gave me hope being able to see everything all the way through. And essentially my spiritual existence just felt more grounded. And I could tell how I was very intentional on protecting my peace. Resetting your mind means that you choose yourself. You choose joy, you choose happiness, you choose peace, you choose to live your life on your terms. From a standpoint of doing things that make you happy, on only holding on to things that are important to you. Like going through the cancer diagnosis is like, it's eye opening. Like if you remember, if you go back to that time when you first received the diagnosis and that fear and anxiety, that sense of doom that you felt because you thought you were probably going to die, like that right there, that's enough to consume someone. And so if we stay in a place of, being stuck, or if we try to go back to who we were, then we don't get to truly live out this beautiful life that, for those of us that already understand this life that is basically a second opportunity. This is your opportunity to choose you. This is your opportunity to be a little bit selfish in the process. I know it sounds crazy, but it's okay to say no to things that don't serve you, that don't serve your purpose, that don't give you peace. It's okay to create boundaries. It's just a different way of living. Creating a space where you're able to just be, that's where you find that overwhelming sense of gratefulness. Not to the point to where you ignore your pain, you ignore the hurt and what you've been through. But again, it just helps you to where you're not stuck there. When you can find that sense of gratefulness, when you can see your future like all the way through, it gives you an overwhelming sense of gratefulness. And that is where you're able to basically anchor yourself and find that strength to really get out there and really start living, to be honest. You're able to refocus on what truly matters. Like for me, for instance, my family meant so much to me, especially being a person who has experienced like loss at a big magnitude. Like, just not to say that I didn't like love or value my family before. Like it just, like going through what I went through just gave me a more intentional way of spending time with my family. Like we look forward to building memories. We look forward to our time together. Like it's so precious and so meaningful for us that anything that doesn't necessarily serve that, it doesn't really get a lot of our attention. It just doesn't. My family keeps me grounded, and not just their presence, but like I said, just being intentional about that time. And, to be able to have this time, I cherish it and I am beyond grateful. I get to I get to do life with them every day that I wake up and, breath hits my lungs and my feet touch the ground. I'm just grateful that I get to do life with them. So that's what it is for me. That's not to say what it is for you. Again, your life is your life. Your dreams are your dreams. Your goals are your goals, but you have to see it. You have to see it, even if it means that you're pulling out a journal and you're writing down all these reasons to be grateful. You've created your own gratitude journal, which is important. It's important when you're finding yourself in those deep slumps and those valleys. That's how you retrain your mindset. You have to be able to see that vision of your future. You have to be able to see yourself thriving and living, not just saying that you're just a survivor. That survivor part will always be a part of your story, but it's not who you are. So who are you now that you've gone through that? Who are you now? All right. Okay, guys. So in the next video, I'm going to be sharing some key coping strategies that I feel like they were, very important in protecting my mental health and helping me get through, week by week, day by day, sometimes hour by hour and minute by minute. And so I'm going to share some of those key coping strategies that basically, got me through. And so I invite you to please subscribe and turn on your notifications if you haven't done so already, so that you can be in the loop. I also invite you to go ahead and check out the previous video if you haven't done so already. That will be showing up. And if not, I have a whole ton of other things for you to pay attention to as well. So definitely check out the previous video. And until next time, peace.